All right, our regular meeting for the School Board of Trustees for Princeton Independent School District is now called to order May 18th, 2026, beginning at 6:30 p.m. On behalf of the Princeton ISD School Board and our Superintendent, Donald McIntyre, I would like to welcome you all. The subjects to be discussed are considered upon somebody's feedback. Subjects to be discussed or considered or upon which any formal action may be taken are listed on the agenda posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Items do not have to be taken in the same order as shown on this meeting notice unless removed from the consent agenda. Items identified within the consent agenda will be acted on at one time. We will move now to the agenda item number 2. Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please rise for the presentation of colors? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Before we dismiss the colors today, just wanted to make special recommendations of our JROTC. This is our 8th year of having an NDCC program here in Princeton ISD, and this year they have received the honor of actually being named as the full JROTC unit and will receive full funding from the U.S. government.
You may sit. We'll move on to item number 3. Ms. Ledesma, would you please prepare us on the work we're about to do?
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, what an honor it is to serve the children and families of this community. As we approach the final days of the school year, we lift up our students, teachers, administrators, and all staff who have poured themselves into making this year a success. We are grateful for their dedication, their sacrifice, and their genuine care for the students they serve. We also bring this meeting before you tonight. May every decision we make, every conversation we have, and every action we take honor and glorify you. Ground us in humility, compassion, integrity, and love, the very example Jesus set for us, as we seek what is truly best for every student in this community. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Ledesma. We'll move on to item number 4, student recognition.
So I'd like to invite Ms. Avant to come to the mic for us.
Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking the school board for recognizing our FFA members that we had qualify for the state CDE contest this year. We are very fortunate to have 4 young ladies qualify for our vet science contest at the state level. The vet science contest, I believe, is one of the hardest because I personally could not become a vet, so props to them. But they have to memorize and be able to identify close to 1,000 breeds, organs, parasites, tools, and be able to present a hands-on practicum in front of a judge. I don't know a lot of high school students that can do that once, let alone close to a dozen times throughout a school year. So these ladies have put in a ton of work, not just for the state level competition, but to make our team as well. We had 3 additional members of our Princeton FFA chapter who competed to be on our vet science team this year. They unfortunately did not qualify for one of our 4 spots, but Kai Flanagan, Athena Gonzalez, and Grace Barton also had an incredible year with us as well. So out of the over 10,000 FFA members that competed in CDEs this year, and 545 CDE teams in the vet contest, our students placed 30th, and Miss Rebecca placed 21st, yes, 21st overall individual. So amazing year. Congratulations for all of your hard work, ladies.
That's amazing. I appreciate the hard work for just not the students, but the teachers and as well as the parents who helped lead them. If you assist me in honoring Miss Aubrey Anderson.
Next up, we have for FFA Veterinary Medicine CDE State Qualifier, Ms. Leela Berg.
Next up, we have Rebecca Pierce.
Next up, we have Rosalind Pratt of FFA Veterinary Medicine of CDE, State Qualifier.
We've got more recognition.
Science Fair, I would like to invite Ms. Nelson to the mic.
Good evening, everyone. I am proud to be here to announce our grand champions for the Elementary Science Fair. They completed, and these are all 4th graders, and it was all during the 4th 9 weeks. They chose from 5 categories, and those categories are chemistry, physics, botany, earth and environmental science, and human behavioral science. We grade on a rubric, and in those 3 categories, we pick the top 3 students, and then based on those all of those top projects, we pick 1 grand champion per campus. And so today we have we're honoring all of the grand champions. They work very hard through all the steps of the scientific process, and we've created a video where they show you the nice overview of their projects, and we're excited to share that with you.
Your hands.
Hello, my name is Fajita. I'm doing science fair project, and my school name is Godwin Elementary, and my teacher name is Miss Lyons. My category is botany, and then my title is plant magic. What mostly inspired me was my sister and my teacher. So my sister, she helped me through it and then inspired me that I can do this. And then my teacher, she helped me get through this. She told me that this would be easy to do. So my result did support my prediction about it. The plotting soil would grow taller, and also, the plotting soil grew taller because there was enough nutrients and then water supporting the plant stem to grow.
I am Michael, and I am at Lacey Elementary. My teacher is Miss Peterson. My category is physics, and my title is The Great Soak-Off. My question was, what brand of paper towel is most absorbent? My hypothesis was, I think brownie is going to absorb the most liquid, and my pictures was in order, and this was our materials right here. All the results was that brownie absorbed the most liquid out of everything, and one thing that went crazy that I didn't expect was that none of the paper towels absorbed the most liquid with oil vinegar.
Hello everyone, my name is Leon Madhat, and I'm in Miss Locke class, and I'm in Green Elementary. My category today is physics, and my title is, what brand of paper towels absorbs the least amount of water in 1 minute? My question is, what paper towel brand absorbs the least amount of water? And my hypothesis is, if I use a thicker paper towel, then more water will stay in the paper towel. So I grabbed a spoon, filled them up with water, and dumped them all at the same time. I had a little help with doing that. And then I started a 1 minute timer, and when I got back after the 1 minute timer, I realized Scott absorbed the most amount of water and Sparkle absorbing the least amount of water. I expected Sparkle to be the best, but it actually wasn't because it was too thin. And I thought Scott would be the worst, but it turned out the best.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Cuevas, and I go to Smith Elementary. My homeroom teacher is Miss Maya. My board category is Earth and Environmental Science. My title is Water plus Erosion. What type of ground layers limit erosion the most? Sand, gravel, or soil? The way I did it was I got my identical containers and I poured each of the layers inside of them. About my conclusion was that gravel was the one that eroded the most. The ones that didn't were sand and soil. I chose soil because I thought it would stick together more, but instead it didn't. The more it weighs, the more it's probably gonna stay together and not fall apart.
Hi, my name is Kritik Charan Balaji. I go by the name Kritik. My school name is Dorothy Lowe Elementary. My science teacher's name is Miss McElroy. My category is chemistry. My title is called Dirtiness Democracy. Basically, it is where I took 4 surfaces, a phone, keyboard, door handle, and light switch. I took a cotton swab, dipped it in water, took bacteria from each of those surfaces and put it in a petri dish and inside an incubator for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, I took the petri dishes out and I recorded the results. My results were very surprising. As my hypothesis says, I thought the door handle would grow more. My hypothesis was wrong. The keyboard grew 3.2 mega colonies, while the door handle only grew 11.2 colonies. The thing that was very surprising was that the door handle had a bacteria that was very bluish, while the others only had black bacteria.
Hi, I'm Matt Singleton. I go to Harper Elementary, and Miss Reckline is my science teacher. My category is chemistry, and my title is Fun Stain Removers, which removes stains better, lemon juice or vinegar. What inspired me to do this project was maybe one day when I grow up, I would be a chemist or do something in that field grow up. So this will give me some experience if I decide to pursue a career in chemistry. Before I did my hypothesis, I thought vinegar would be a better stain remover, but after talking to my mom and did my research on pH, I have found out that the more acidic an object is, it will get the stain out better, so my projection changed to lemon juice. And lemon juice did do better for grape juice with the white and yellow cotton shirt. If I was to do this project again, I probably wouldn't wait at all to put on my stain removers to see if that would help or not help the stain removers to work.
My name is Leah, my teacher's name is Miss Grant, and my school's name is James Elementary, and my category is physics, and the title of my science project is Light and LED, but there's a catch. My question is, will an LED light using foil and vinegar? I think the LED will light up by pouring vinegar on top of the foil and then rubbing it together. And then once that's done, it will create enough energy to make the LED light up. No, my hypothesis was wrong because I didn't have to rub foil and vinegar together. I had to stack coins on top of foil to make electricity produce.
Hi, my name is Emmy Navarez. My teacher is Miss Hanford, and I go to Mary Mayfield Elementary. My topic is Earth and Environmental Science, and my title is What Happens to a Book and a Magazine Over Time. And my hypothesis is the magazine will get damaged faster because its paper is thinner. For my procedures, I left the book and the magazine out for 5 days and looked at them daily every single day. My conclusion was correct. The magazine did get damaged faster than the book.
Great group of kids. If you learned anything today, is when you get your phone, clean it with lemon juice and Scott's, and wipe it down with Scott's paper towels. So, we'd like to recognize out of Smith Elementary, Miss Elizabeth Cuevas.
Next up, we have Miss Pujita Param from Godwin Elementary, Science Fair winner.
All right, next winner we have Michael Wright of Lacey Elementary, Science Fair winner.
Our next science fair winner is from Low Elementary, and it's Krithik Balaji.
Okay, from James Elementary, Science Fair winner Leah Roberts. Is Leah not here? Guess not. Okay, the next one from Mayfield Elementary Science Fair winner is Emmy Navarez.
Okay, being a science teacher, this is so exciting. I love science fair so much. So I am so proud to introduce you to a winner from Harper Elementary, Mr. Matthew Singleton. Come on down. And last but not least is Leon Mad Hat. Come on down. You're the lucky winner.
Thank you guys for joining us for those presentations, parents. The rest of the board meeting is not as exciting as it was, so feel free to leave and enjoy the rest of your day with your families. Thank you. We do have 3 years, or yeah, 4. Okay. If you brought your science fair board, you may take it today. All right, we'll move on to public comments. Any person willing to address the board during this period is reserved for public comments at the board meeting must sign up to be heard in accordance with district policy BED local. The board is authorized to make reasonable limitations and regulations governing public comments. As such, the board will allow 3 minutes for all speakers. There are less than 10 speakers. If the number of participants exceeds 10 speakers, then each participant will receive 2 minutes to speak. The board will discuss agenda items later in the meeting during consideration. The board is not permitted to discuss upon or act upon any issues that are not posted on the agenda in tonight's meeting. The board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure, at the lowest possible administrative level, a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns. Each of these processes provides that if a resolution cannot be achieved administratively, the person may appeal to the administrative decision to the board as properly posted agenda item. For further information, those policies, contact the administration office at 469-952-5400 or our website, www.princetonisd.net. All right, I believe we've got 4. First, Ms. Dorinda Powell.
Good evening. Thank you, Board and Superintendent. First, it was exciting to see all the kids with all the awards that they received. How wonderful is that? Thank you to all the teachers. I am speaking tonight on behalf of the children. It's what school is all about, especially my granddaughter who saw this book in the elementary library. It was entitled, "What Makes Us Unique?" Our first talk about diversity by Jillian Roberts shows a page of a grandmother reading a book to a grandchild. It says, people have different kinds of families. Some families have both a mom and a dad. Others have one mom and one dad, or two moms or two dads. One page says, just a few more questions. What about people of different sexual orientations? Sexual orientation, this is from the book, refers to who we are attracted to. Girls can be attracted to boys or girls, and boys can be attracted to boys or girls. It's important to treat people with respect and kindness regardless of their gender or who they are attracted to. In other words, we're just to accept anything and everything, to have no moral beliefs whatsoever. This extremely offensive book is in our Princeton Elementary Library. Children are so vulnerable to things they see, read, or hear. Why is there so much more sexual confusion in the world today? Is it social media, TV, movies, inappropriate books that indoctrinate our sweet, innocent children? My guess would be yes. Who is responsible for keeping these inappropriate books out of our public libraries? I haven't heard back from any of the emails that I emailed administration. I wonder what will be done to correct this and not ignore it. This was already addressed, I thought, and settled. We must protect our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Ms. Takesha Voss.
Good evening. I wouldn't need 3 minutes. I have my phone to be real quick, to the point. I am the mother of Jeremiah Voss. He's a student at Perkins Childhood Development Center. Just as the background, I am also a victims advocate at the Wiley Police Department. I've been there for 5 years. And prior to that, I former CPS worker. 15 years experience working, supporting vulnerable children and families. So I wanted to tell y'all that so y'all know where my heart is going forward. My priority right now is to ensure that my son and all other students are able to learn in a safe, supportive, and well-supervised environment. Jeremiah is a bright child with ADHD who requires, at this current time, consistent support to be successful. Since November 17th, 2025, I have worked with campus staff regarding the accommodations, behavior support, and educational needs of my son. While I appreciate some staff communication throughout the process, I am concerned that the timely evaluation and support processes were not consistently addressed when I provided required medical documentation. Additionally, I'm concerned regarding communication and incident documentation and student supervision. On February 20th, my child had a visible injury, a quarter-sized bruise on his forehead, when I picked him up from school, and I had no immediate explanation, followed by a conflicting information regarding the incident when I asked what happened. I respectfully asked that the district review procedures related to safety documentation, parent notification, staff communication, and video retention, because I was told that it's only a 15-day span. And I'm just being blunt and just being straightforward, moving forward with any student, right? And not just student, but like to cover also for the teachers. Like, I believe that it should be longer than 15 days. Throughout this process, I've consistently advocated for my son behavior needs and while attempting to work collaboratively with the campus staff. It has been challenging, and there has been negative consequences for me advocating for my son. And I just pray, and hopefully moving forward, that the collaboration can be better, and that we can work together to be able to help all students. I'm done.
Thank you, Ms. Voss. Is it Ms. Jennifer Wassersbecker?
I'm Jen. I'm a teacher, special education teacher at Godwin Elementary. I work under the best principal that I could ever hope to work under. So I don't want anything that I say to be taken as anything against anyone I work with, because the people I work with are wonderful. And the only reason I'm here is because what I have to discuss is not within their power to resolve. And I'm here to just bring to light the single biggest area that I see that could be improved at Godwin Elementary, and that is the correct placement of students in special education programs. A student I will refer to as E2 was moved to another placement only after the family obtained an advocate. Data was collected and communicated nearly all of last year and continue to be collected and communicated this year. On a regular basis, the student threw objects that could have injured other students, eloped from the classroom, exposed himself and urinated in front of other students, yelled and ran around the classroom. The classroom had to be evacuated at times. D1 is a student at Godwin Elementary right now. D1 requires assistance in the areas of personal hygiene and toileting, hits and kicks other students without provocation, throws food, is unable to transition, refuses to participate or engage academically, and according to parents has experienced significant regression. Issues were noted and communicated by D1's kindergarten teacher early in the year and continued to be documented this year. Parents were told that a BIP would be created for D1, data would be collected, and D1 could be expected to enter the new program, and I quote, shortly before or shortly after spring break. D1 remains at Godwin. However, parents have expressed willingness to seek legal recourse if necessary, and it is my understanding that D1's placement will change next year after 2 years of attempting this. We also have GK. Since most substitutes are not equipped to handle him, one of the 2 special education teachers must typically be assigned to him during that time. There's no reason that I could find when I stayed up on my own time looking through the Texas Code of Law applying to special education that GK could have been placed in a setting appropriate for a student with severe autism while he was being evaluated. It is obvious, since the student is not able to spend any time in the classroom, that the general education setting is not the correct placement for the student. And I just have noted all year that least restrictive environment has come up repeatedly, and that's because it's a cornerstone of special education, and I understand that. So is FAPE, free appropriate public education, appropriate. Citing the least restrictive environment.
Thank you, that's your time.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Wasserbecker. Mrs. Barbara Hanson.
I just wanted to address the library books in some of the school libraries. There's a particular one that I learned from a friend that her child saw, and it was Pause. Hazel has her hands full. And it's past on an adorable graphic novel about friendship and pets and perfect fans for Babysitter's Club, which is a series. While the main plot focuses on Hazel, a girl who has a wheelchair, juggling cat-sitting duties, physical therapy, and keeping a big secret from her overprotected mother. Right there, that's a warning, and that's described in the Amazon explanation of the book. Creator Nathan Fairburn has stated that including various forms of diversity, including LGBTQ plus identities, have a deliberate choice for the book universe. Queer representation, which talks about a gay couple, the Tuan and Carlos among its legendary characters. The book is published by G.P. Putnam Sons Books for young readers and is intended for 8 to 12-year-olds. House Bill 900 would set new standards for school libraries to keep sexually explicit school books off the bookshelves. Also, House Bill 900 is simply another tool that we as a state can use to do all we can in our communities and our schools to address harmfully explicit material. State Bill 13 from 2025 law overhauls how library books are selected and challenged. The totally inappropriate sexually oriented book is in our Princeton Elementary Library. It also promotes children keeping secrets from their parents because Hazel feels her mother is overprotected. Her mother, because of Hazel's disability and age, does not want her going to a stranger's house alone, which she keeps secret. I'm terribly concerned about whoever is responsible for checking and ordering books for the school. It goes to show that books, even in a series, should be checked. Maybe because one or two are okay, the third book isn't. This material can be easily researched as I did. Please continue to follow up and check.
Thank you, Ms. Hanson. We'll move on to item number 7A, construction update.
All right. Good evening. Colton Barnes here with Claycomb Associates Architects with our construction update for May 2026. Starting off with Bonchbach Middle School, here is an updated overall site photo. And then some interior photos here of the media center, cafeteria, and the reception area. We're getting close to the end on this one. Furniture move-in has begun. The end of project inspections, several have been complete and several others are in progress or scheduled. And all the owner architect punch walks have been completed. Across the street to Carroll Elementary School, again, an overall site view here. And then interior photos here of the main corridor, the media, and back-of-house kitchen. Notes here are same as Bonchbach. Furniture move-in has begun. End of project inspections. The owner architect punch are complete. And we are looking forward to both of these projects coming to a close shortly and opening up this fall. Then for the first of two new elementaries, this is the further north side of Abbott. You can see the south and the west drives are complete in this overall photo. And then we do have some on-ground photos here. Nothing super interesting, but we are starting to see a little bit come out of the ground. A lot of utility work under the grade. The storm shelter slab, which is also the gym, is complete. And then the kitchen underground utilities are complete, which will allow that slab to be poured as well. Sorry, button's not reacting very well today. Tally Elementary School on the south side of Princeton, an overall site here. Again, it's mostly the paving on the site and then foundation work. You can see the little kind of teal area there. That's the storm shelter. That's the ICF forming. So it has gone a little bit more vertical than Abbott has. But again, it's a lot of the same underground utility work and foundation slabs, grade beams, that sort of thing. Structural steel on this one is noted to begin soon. Are there any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll move into item 7B, security report.
So you have that in your packet. I did receive some questions from a couple of you, and I've responded with those. Hopefully that helped.
Mr. McIntyre, just so that I can make sure I'm aware for the security report, the things I requested are going to start at the beginning of next school year?
That is our intent, yes. Ms. Perkins, with her additional submissions to the state, we have not had time to revamp the report and get it to work. So our goal is to have that at the start of school. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item 7C, teacher incentive allotment.
So one of the best things that I ever get to present on is when we are able to get more money for our teachers. And the teacher incentive allotment, so one of the ways that we approach and celebrate that, and I'm sure you saw some great videos of Mr. McIntyre busting into classrooms and screaming. But one of the ways that we celebrate that is by going around and actually handing that award to every individual that receives a designation. In years past, we've been able to complete that pretty much by lunchtime. This year, it took us all the way until dismissal, and we got really close to a couple of car lines to get those in and get all of those celebrations done. Can I have the next slide, please? Oh, you trust me with this? All right. So if you look at the numbers, you'll see that we had a essentially 70% increase in the number of designations that were issued this year. That brings our total currently to 34% of our teaching staff that carries a designation through the teacher incentive allotment. So this year alone, our teachers received an additional $2,475,281 in compensation from the state. They are guaranteed that amount for the next 5 years. Once you earn that designation, you carry it for the next 5 years.
Awesome.
Since the inception of the program, we've been able to award an additional $4.9 million in funding to teachers in Princeton ISD. It's really a fantastic thing. The next slide, you're right, that doesn't work well. Give it back to you. The next slide shows the distribution. Am I not aiming it right? The next slide shows the distribution kind of across the district of where those teachers are, what campuses they're on, and the total allotment per campus. Just some things that I want to celebrate about our TIA program. It is distinct from a lot of TIA programs in the state in that it is open to every teaching role in the district. When I attend conferences and talk to other people that are responsible for administering this program, I get a lot of wide eyes and head shakes, and they do not open their TIA program to every position in the district. A lot of districts narrow that down to only teachers that are in STAR-tested fields, things like that, but we made the decision when we first rolled the program out to open it up to every position in the district. So that's something I'm very proud of, and we see representation consistently. There are 9 categories of teaching assignments within our program, and we see a very consistent representation in both STAR teaching fields and non-STAR teaching assignments with very consistent distributions of those designations. Another group that I really want to recognize, obviously our teachers, they are getting recognized through that additional funding coming from the state, but also our principals and assistant principals. They do a fantastic job with evaluations. Teacher incentive allotment is based on student growth, but also evaluations. And our system every year, y'all see me get really nervous around February if you're watching, because that's when we finally hear back from the state whether or not our system has passed data validation. It goes through a 16-point process with Texas Tech, and one of the checks that they do is to see the degree of correlation between teacher evaluation and student growth. And every year we get very, very consistent and very high rankings in the correlation between observation evaluation and student growth, which tells me that our administrators are doing a great job of being objective in how they're appraising those classrooms when they go in. So again, it's just something that I want to celebrate. We've seen a fantastic increase this year, and I'm very proud to be able to bring this program.
Amazing.
This is awesome.
Yes, sir.
So I have one quick question for those of us in the back that may not know. Can you explain the difference between the master teachers, exemplary, and recognized teachers?
Yeah, so those are the 3 different levels of designation that are available in the program. Master teacher is the highest level of designation, and that carries with it roughly, depending on what campus, because it is an individual calculation by campus, but anywhere from $14,000 to $17,000 as that payout. An exemplary teacher is the next highest level. That's going to carry anywhere from about an $8,000 to a $12,000 payout. And then our recognized teachers are the next level of designation, and that's going to carry anywhere from about a $4,000 to an $8,000 payout. I'm also very happy that the state has added an additional level of designation called accomplished. That will be available to our staff in the upcoming school year. Had we had that level of designation available this year, we would have added 30 more teachers to this cohort.
It's amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Donalds, will we be able to get that list of all of those? Is it already posted?
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know.
Plus, if you go on Facebook, you get to hear me yell 80 times. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. Sounds like fun.
All right, we'll move on to item number 8, consent agenda. If any member would like to pull any item from the consent agenda, I'd entertain that motion at this time.
I don't want to pull an item, but I do have a question on one of the items for Mr. McIntyre.
No, she's not pulling it.
No, I'm not pulling it. I just have a question. Make a motion on it. Can we start separating out the years of experience in the role versus the years in education as a whole? Because I can't tell the difference between that for the hiring of personnel.
Jackie. The separation on there, you know, it has years of service on the form, but we can't tell the years in the current role versus the years in just education total. And so if those are different, maybe we need to add an extra column there, one that's total years in education and one that's years in the role that we're hiring them at. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Is that an easy
Because
add?
it just says years experience, and I'm not sure if you were saying that this is the years of experience that they have preparing them for the role, or is it just the years of experience that they have in education, working in education? So I'm trying to understand that when we're looking at this. Some of these numbers, some of the years just didn't add up for me, so I was trying to see where they're coming from.
I'm sure that can be done. You mean different roles?
Because you're trying to say, like, if we're hiring them as an AP, you would like to see how many years they've been in education and then how many years they have as an AP.
Correct. Because right now, there's no distinguishing factor here. It just says years of experience, and there's not a way.
We should be able to pull that from their resume as we add them on there.
All right.
Because it won't be for everything, it's just anything that's not a classroom teacher. I think we can make that happen. Let us take a good look at that and see what we can do.
Thank you, sir. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
A motion for Mr. Sarp. Second, okay. All those in favor of that motion, raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously.
We would like to introduce a couple individuals, please.
Sorry.
So I am pleased to introduce Miss Kristen Williams. You guys stand up. Ms. Williams will be the new assistant principal at Lovelady High School. She is originally from Richardson, got her bachelor's degree at Tech, and is currently pursuing her doctorate in educational leadership at the University of North Texas. She served as a teacher, a team lead, an instructional coach, a district curriculum writer, an assistant principal, and principal. She is passionate about campus culture and in creating an environment where students feel supported and challenged to succeed, and we are thrilled to have her with us.
Welcome to Princeton. Thank you, ma'am. We're glad to have you. We'll move on to item number 9, campus improvement plans.
So just to refresh everybody's memory, we've approved the district level improvement plan. That was the district site-based committee, and the board approved that. We then give that to all the campuses then to take and meet with their campus-based committees to produce their campus improvement plan. So you've had those in your packets for review.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
I did have a few questions on.
Okay. We got a motion.
Let's
first.
go ahead and.
Oh, sorry, go
I
ahead.
got a motion from Ms. Darling. Do I got a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second from Mr. Kelly. We'll go ahead and discuss.
Okay, so I did get to review these, and I did have a question for the CNUP on page 9. So I was just looking at the changes, and I noticed that on page 9, let's see, it looked like at some point we wanted a school counselor, and then I guess I'm just wondering what was the change and maybe needing a counselor maybe in the past, or why that was part of our goals, and then now it's not. What was the shift in that?
I think the big shift was just the number of students enrolled at that campus. When we were at capacity and full, they really felt that was a huge need. As we discussed when we added the Dean of Students positions, that'll probably be something you see come back in future years. But right now with the split of Perkins Elementary, the number is down low enough. It's a manageable number right now. Is that correct, Ms. Nix?
Yeah, and then what number do we consider not manageable? When would we start reconsidering?
When the principal asks for it, then I will bring it to you guys for consideration.
So the past year was the first time that they asked for it, and then we opened up Perkins, and that's why we're taking it off now. Okay. And then on page 4, the last bullet says, yes, sorry, CNUP. I guess there's some sort of checklist, continue classroom environment, CEC. I just wanted to know, it looks like y'all do it 3 times a year. I was wondering what's in that list. What kind of things are we looking for when we're checking off that list?
Kind of like the Price is Right. Come on down.
So the campus improvement checklist is a checklist that I implemented when I came to CNUP that revolves around best practices in early childhood. It focuses on, are their centers engaging? Is their instruction robust? Are their lesson plans aligned to their centers? Are the small groups aligned? It really makes sure that we focus in on the environment as a tier 1 process for the teachers to be able to set the stage there and then move forward from that piece. It's a whole page. I can send it to you if you'd like me to.
Sounds cool. So you made it yourself?
No. So there's another piece too. It follows the CLI Engage testing platform. So it's created by Circle or CLI Engage. It's just something that I have always done as an early childhood administrator. I am planning to implement something similar at Carroll, but it's just going to look a little different for grade levels. But using that as a backbone is a great resource for that early learning classroom. Any other CNUP questions?
No CNUP.
Okay.
No more CNUP. My next one was for Godwin. It was page 7. And let me see. Okay, so on the middle column where it talks about the needs, let's see. The summary of needs, what were the identified needs? And then It says the TEA curriculum review conducted as a part of the comprehensive school improvement indicates district-provided math and RLA materials do not align with instructional materials adopted by the school district or campus, as outlined in the certification of provision of instructional materials. Then it says district-provided reading language arts RLA materials did not meet the required threshold for grade level rigor. What does this mean? And what are we doing to fix that, I guess?
I'll answer that. So it wasn't a TEA curriculum audit. It came as part of them being identified as a comprehensive school. And so they came in to do a needs assessment. Part of that is looking specifically at curriculum, and TEA looks at that. We did meet standards on several things, but the reason it did not fully meet standard is because our curriculum is not considered an HQIM or highly qualified instructional material by the state's new standards. So what we are doing with that is we are in the planning year as part of that LIFT grant in order to adopt HQIM materials in the 27-28 school year. So we have a plan for that. But what we are doing is going in and making sure that we are taking our current curriculum and writing in, our curriculum coordinators are making sure they're writing in those research-based instructional strategies, those lead forward playlist strategies, things that we know that do show, that research has shown is great instructional quality, so they're adding that into our current curriculum, and then we'll be adopting new curriculum in a year. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And then I have one for middle school and high school, and this was just one that I kind of saw generally in some of the middle school and high schools. I saw on some of them that they had like attendance goals, and then it seems like some of them are going to implement the Minga system. I've never used it, so I was wondering, what is that? What does that look like for our schools?
The Minga system is kind of a hall pass system that the students use, and so it helps us track where kids are at any point during the day. If kid needs to go out to take a restroom break, they have to put in a request on their Chromebook for a pass. The teacher then approves that. It gives them a timer that tells them how to go. Then there's also a piece that the principals or the teachers can use to give points for attending or doing certain things, and they can earn a point system through there for also a reward system. So just kind of a positive reinforcement and a good tracking system. Did I miss anything on that anybody wants to add?
Thumbs up.
Hey, I got thumbs up. How about that?
A bunch of thumbs up. And then my last one, this was just a general one. I saw a few campuses had goals, of course, regarding student achievement through Tier 1 instruction and PLC implementation. I know when I got, and I know it's changed since, I'm sure, when I got PLC trained, there was like a whole book I had to read through the summer, and it was a whole thing. So I was wondering, as a district, are we mainstreaming that through the district? Who's training us on that? Is it Region 10? I know I was trained by my principal here when I was at James, but is that something that we're gonna have Region 10 come up?
It's me again. Yes, it is something we utilize the Region 10 internalization lesson plan method this year, and then that's also a big focus through the LIFT grant. Our coaches that are going to be coming onto the campuses, a big focus is walkthrough and feedback as well as PLCs, and so they do have a template that we'll be utilizing. But the good thing is that it's not any different than what we've been doing. It's still that lesson internalization piece and just adding in and making sure we get all 4 questions of those PLCs answered.
Are we going to start that like in the summer for all the new teachers that come in? Will they get some sort of beginner course for PLC for those that have?
Yes, so I know as part of our new teacher orientation, that's one of the pieces that we're going to be going over. Mm-hmm.
Any more questions, concerns? Okay. All right, we got a motion, we got a second. We got a motion from Ms. Darling, second from Mr. Kelly. All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Go to item number 10, Texas Association of School Board Advocacy Resolution.
So I have a small correction for you on this. TSB had not sent out the resolution form, so I sent out the one that we'd had in the past because I was trying to get a hold of that. They are actually changing their methodology for doing that, and so this year what they're asking each district to do is to produce a legislative session legislative priorities list. So in front of you, I gave you a copy of what we had listed as our legislative priorities from last year. So if you did have anything that you brought with you as a new TASB regulation that you wanted to promote, we could add that to this. Or if there's something else that comes up that you think we need to look at, we can also add those things to this as well as we go. We're going to talk some more later about school funding. As a fast growth, low wealth district, that is our biggest hurdle that we have to fund here in Princeton ISD. On the M&O side, as you know, we have a healthy budget there and are not running into much difficulties. But on the INS side, the current state funding methodology is really crippling us, as we are one of the few schools around that are still trying to build new schools as we grow 1,400 kids a year still. And so that's, from the administration side, that's still going to remain one of our top priorities, is that we need legislation to help us be able to meet the needs of our kids with facilities and those things. And then again, I think we're still focused. We've had lots of conversations on the student services side about how to work with students who are being less than successful because of their behavior. And we need the support from the state to be able to do what we need to do with those students so they can be successful and all the students around them can be successful. And then accountability, we will need to look at that, and I'll need to touch base with the curriculum department some. We did see some help in that area, and we do have a couple of legislators that are really working to try to help revise the A through F accountability system in the way it works with brand new campuses, because there's some factors there that we get penalized for because we can't show growth because we have nothing to compare that to. And so we've asked them to take a look at the way that is done. So that's where this list has come from. And then if there's just anything else a board member thinks we need to add, they will not be voted on at TASB like they had in years past. They're simply going to be able to take these. I know last year we had 3 board members go down and talk, I believe, and share these with legislators after we created them, and that was very well received. And so I think we need to make sure we've got that up to date and reflects everybody's desires and concerns. And then I think we need some volunteers to take a trip to Austin to go talk them up.
Amazing. We had 3 members last year that went, and I think that was successful. That was beneficial. So would love to see that again. Do we need anything on that one?
Yeah, so I don't really need any action by the board tonight. Just a reminder that if there's, please review that and then bring back to us anything that you're interested in. We can make those additions and send those out if you've got something that you think we've missed.
We'll move on to item number 11, nomination of TASB Board of Directors.
So as I showed in your packet, TASB Board of Directors does have an open seat that is up, that we are eligible to nominate somebody to run for that position. And so currently the Region 10 Position D seat is open. The individual that was in there was Kevin Carbo from Mesquite ISD, and he is not seeking re-election, so it is truly an open seat. If we have anybody that's interested in running, or we desire to nominate anybody.
I'll second that.
Got a nomination for Ms. Cindy by Mr. Campbell, second by Mr. Kelly. Any discussions? All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Ledesma, did you? Okay. All those against? Motion passes 4-2. We'll move on to item number 12, executive session. The discussion, consider the purchase, exchange, lease, and value of real property pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.072. Discussion, purchase, exchange, and lease of value of real property. We'll,
I'll make a motion.
Go ahead and say. Motion, Mr. Kelly, second by Mr. Campbell. All those in favor, raise your hand. 7:35. Motion passes unanimously at 7:35.
And if it's okay, I would like to dismiss staff at this time.
Yes, sir. Has anybody got any need for staff to stick around?
Thank you, guys.
Move over on to item number 13, consider and take action, possible action on the matters addressed in executive session. A, consider take action, possible action regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. I don't believe we've got any action item there.
No, I don't need any action on that tonight.
No more items to discuss. We will adjourn at 8:50.